Hello, today's video is about the live lab on 5/18/2021. So the last video we talked about subnetting. And so we have here the subnetting that we did before class. So you have these networks here. You have 0 network 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm going to do is apply it to the devices. Now make sure you check your devices and make sure you turn them on. Sometimes I turn them off just to give people something to do. And the other thing I want to warn you is Notepad is phenomenal and it's great and it's very fast, but make sure you can type the commands from memory, because if you are going to go get certified, you're going to have to do this from scratch. So if you've had me before, my expectations, you should know. If you have not, here is a router config. So I call this basic configs. You have your enable password, password encryption service, username, password, your gigabit IP, no shutdown, description, and it repeats through as many interfaces as you have. Then we want to do SSH with username and password. Oh, that's a duplicate. Huh. Won't hurt it. So then we have IPSSH version 2, IPSSH authentication-retries 2 tries in 60 seconds. Then we do linecon with a password. VTY should be local login, referring back to the username and password. And then input transport SSH. And then your banner and RA crypto key generate. So what I did was go ahead and just took the first address of each one of these networks. So if you see gigabit 00, it's going to be 01. Make sure the subnet mask is correct. Gigabit 10 will be 81. That's the first IP usable. And then 252.0 subnet mask. Gigabit 20, 14.1. Check your subnet mask 255, 255, 255.0. Gigabit 30, 15.1. And then gigabit 4 is 12.1 with a subnet mask. So if this is done correctly, I should be able to go ahead and just copy and paste. Remember, I want you to be able to do this from memory. So let's go to R1, command line, no to initial dialog, enable, config T, Control-Shift-6 when you make a typo. Control-Shift-6 will exit some one of those typos. Config T, and then if I hit paste, we're going to see, let's see if we got a clean config. So I want to go back up to the part where I pasted, which is right here. So I'm looking for any errors. Looks like things are clean. I'm not getting any explanation points or the caret symbol. All right, so last thing I typed was crypto key generate. So make sure you press enter. We want to do 768 for version 2. And if you don't understand that, let me know. And because I've done this lab many times, I just restart the router. It's just resetting the keys there. So then if we go to the router, we see we have all interfaces are up. So let's look at your switch. So on the top end, I have the switch config. It's very similar to the router. Host name, enable secret, encrypt all passwords. You have a VLAN. Remember your VLAN. No shutdown with the IP address. Default gateway, domain. So if this is clean, we can go ahead and copy that. Go into switch 0. Enable config T. And then paste. Press enter, 768. And if you didn't get a message, then you probably had a clean config because it never had an error message. All right, so you've configured your router and your switch. Before I started tonight, I went ahead and applied the IPs to PC1 and PC11. So I'm staying with the same network on network 1 of 172.16.0, and I'm using 100. I often use 100 for my host. And then your subnet mask 255.252.480, and then your default gateway, which would be the router IP. PC11, It's on the 8 network, and it's going to be 100, 252.0 subnet mask, and 8.1. So I'm going to do a quick ping from host to host, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be successful. It didn't succeed on the first try because of the timeouts with the ARP into the switch, ARP into the router. So I'm going to go ahead and double click the red dot, and it's successful. So I know that the router is configured properly. I got no messages about overlapping interfaces and incorrect. So then I'm going to test real quick SSH. So I can go to either PC, put in the IP of the router or switch. We'll do switch first. So SSH -L admin. So the IP is 172.16.0.2 would be the switch. What was our password? Whoops. Password was user. Oh, so password is cyber. Oh, wrong password. Cyber username password. Oh, password username. So now I'm in a switch. So telnet's working. Control Z. And then you can test the router the same way. We'll do an exit. And then you can do arrow up and change it to .1. Press enter. And this one will be cyber username. So now I'm in. So now see I'm in the router. We can exit. Now I'm back to host. So that's how I want you to configure, and I want you to be able to test end-to-end connectivity and also your SSH on your routers. So that ends this video. Have a good day.